Hey, Shalawam, Shalawam. Alright. First and foremost, praise in the east. Even all praise, honor, and glory be to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of the great millstone. And Shalawam to the Lord's hopeful elect. As always, 144,000 men, as well as 1/3 men, women, and children, maintaining themselves, keeping the laws, commandments, and statutes to the best of their ability. Alright, it's your brother Urami Kazak. Back with, I wouldn't really consider this a lesson, but I'm going to talk about fitness a little bit. Okay. It's a lesson, I guess, but I'm not going to be, I'm going to hit a couple precepts, but it's going to be more chill, laid back. Alright, brothers can join up if you want to, Alright. So, what I got is a pull-up bar, man. Okay. And exercise is extremely important. I'm about to put this thing together. I think it's going to be hella simple. It should be. Let me see. Step 1. It's only 3 steps. So, yeah. It'll be done ASAP. Okay. Let's see. So to put these together, let me do this thing right here. Booyah. Put these together. Put the screws in there. Real simple. So fitness. Right? Fitness is important. Okay. What are these? 60s? 60s. 60, 60, 60s, and 63. Oh, okay, I got it. So fitness, man. Taking care of this temple, taking care of this body. You wanna invest in this body. Now, how do you invest in this body? By putting in time and working out. Okay. Eating correctly, fasting, praying, of course. Not being lazy. A slothful man is also going to be a fat man. Okay? If you just sit around, all you do is eat and eat and eat, then what? You're going to be fat. You're going to get fat. Because you're not moving and you're not being active in your life. So all your food, everything you're taking is just sitting on you. It's just staying there. And that's not good. 2 of these, 263s. 63s, these 63s, yep. They simple washers. So oh, this is easy, man. Hold up. Yeah, I'll be done with this shit ASAP. So you want to invest in your time, and that don't mean you don't gotta go to the gym and all that. You don't really gotta do that. You can just simply do calisthenics. Let's get that word. This is what our people always did. Calisthenics. Okay? Calisthenics. And I wanna get this in the etymology. How you spell it is Calisthenics. Is a form of strength training that uses your own body weight and gravity as resistance to build muscle, increase flexibility, and improve coordination. So wherever you at, you can do this. What you know is push-ups, okay, sit-ups, all right, simply running, jogging, jumping, squats, Planks, side planks, right? Stretching. Okay. That's no calisthenics. It doesn't require weights. All right. Understanding this is let's go back to the Maccabees. Because this is where, and this is also an American mindset that happened to our people, man. This is why it's important to read the scriptures to understand where a lot of this came from. This is First Maccabees. I start at verse 1. First Maccabees, first chapter, and I start at verse 11. In those days went there out of Israel wicked men who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us, for since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow. So you got wicked Israelites that was like, let's go and make a covenant with the heathen. Let's go and make a covenant with the Greeks. Let's go and align ourselves with them. Okay? Let's go and take on their customs, take on their practices. Right? Hold up, I gotta get the what's the name? So you got the same type of dudes today. Jake, they want to go and make covenants with the heathens, which is like 501(c) deals. The IUICs and the ISUPKs, we bring them up every single lesson because that's what it is. Why would I not bring up the false prophets? All right? These guys are the problem. They're manipulating and destroying our people. They're the issue. So these are those wicked jakes that's going forth and saying, let's make a covenant with the white man. All right? For since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow. Because going into the time frame, you would know that we what? This is after the Persian captivity. And now we're under much travail. So they want to align with these devils. And that's going to be you individuals that's going to take the chip because you're under much pressure. You're under much travail. You like, they got their foot on our necks. So let me go and sell out and align with them. Right? I get that for you, bro. Isaiah 28 and 15. And make sure this is tight. Yeah, this is good. All right. Isaiah 28 and 15. Because you have said, we have made a covenant with death and with hell, are we at agreement when the overflowing scourge shall pass through, it shall not come unto us. For we have made lies our refuge meaning a strong tower, right? So your strong tower is a lie. It's not going to actually protect you. Everything that you built up is not going to protect you. And under falsehood have we hid ourselves. They're hiding behind these false names. They're hiding behind these false doctrines. So that's those same individuals. Okay? Hey, that's it. Verse 12, back in 1 Maccabees, the first chapter. So this device pleased them well. Then certain of the people were so forward herein that they went to the king, who gave them license to do after the ordinances of the heathen, after the order of the heathens. Right? Whereupon they built a place of exercise at Jerusalem, according to the customs of the heathen. That's what we talking about. Gyms. Okay? I ain't knocking brothers that go to the gym. Go to the gym, do your thing. It's nothing wrong with the gym. But we never had gyms. Okay? You can go to the gym, do your thing. You know? I used to have a little gym membership and all that shit. But, I'm tired of it. It's too many, you got bitches in the gym that just be trying to show off and doing all that shit. And then you got, it's just heathens. And then all the damn germs and stuff that's being spread around. Okay? All these people, most of them got the magazines. Alright? So, me personally, I just don't fuck with the gym. I do calisthenics. Alright? Let's go back to the word calisthenics. And like I said, we're going to get it in the etymology. Calisthenics is a form of strength training that uses your own body weight and gravity as resistance to build muscle, increase flexibility, and improve coordination. It requires little to no equipment and ranges from simple beginner movements to advanced gymnastic skills. All right. Now what you see I got here that I'm putting together is a pull-up bar. Pull-up bar. You could do a pull-up, you're good. All right. You could do a pull-up, you're good. You should, as a grown man, you should be able to do 10 pull-ups, man. Okay? You should be able to do 10 pull-ups as a grown man. And that's a sign that you're actually, you're in an okay physical shape. Is it a sin to go to the gym? Nah. It's not a sin to go to the gym and lift weights. Okay? Not at all. But I'm just giving you the history on where gyms came from. All right? Gyms was always a heathen custom. And our people used to take on the ordinances, the order of these heathens, and used to go to the gym and work out naked. This is what they did. This is what the Greeks did. They worked out naked. All right? And that same mentality is kind of with our people today. They don't work out naked, but it's damn near naked. What you love to see these women in? Yoga pants. All right? Yoga pants. Showing a whole figure. Okay? Damn near, girl, I can see everything that you got. You understand? So it's the same customs, man. The brother, perfect. Gymos, meaning naked. Perfect. Okay? And to this brother, it's not a sin to be fat. Okay? Alright? It's a sin to be slothful, to be lazy. Okay? It's a sin to not have a balance, to overeat, to be greedy, to be gluttonous. That's a sin. Alright? So if you practice those things, then you will eventually become fat. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day. So don't add to the scriptures. Alright? So let's keep it going. And by the way that we're supposed to live, bro, if you work, and you do what you're supposed to do, you exercise, you walk, you work with your hands as you're supposed to do, then you won't be fat. You'll live a balanced life. If you sitting on the couch watching BET all damn day, you're gonna be fat. All you doing is eating all these GMO foods with this sugar and all of this thing. Yeah, you're gonna be slothful. You're gonna be lazy. You're not gonna have a to-do mentality, man. Verse 14. Whereupon they built a place of exercise at Jerusalem, according to the customs of the heathen, and made themselves uncircumcised, and forsook the holy covenant, and joined themselves to the heathen, and were sold to do mischief. Right? Uncircumcised. They went and took the skin of their Johnson and put it back on, basically. Okay? And spiritually, they went and stopped doing the laws, commandments, and statutes and started doing the orders of the heathens, which that's straight wickedness. All right? Let me move on to step 2. So, these right here, I think it's this one. One second. Or is it this way? Nah, it's this way. All right, so these right here, 61s. 61s. And then it's about building a habit. Don't just start a workout routine and you just do that for a week or you do that for 2 weeks and you're done. No, that's the same with doing scriptures, doing lessons. You wanna, it's about being consistent. All right. Is it really 61? Or is it this one? I think it's this one. Yeah, it's this one. All right, because that didn't work out. Hold up, man. Oh, okay. I got it. And then I need a washer. So you got to be consistent in everything you do. You got to be consistent, or you're not going to see no results. If you study, you got to continue to study. This is like a job, and you get better. It's called work, right? You get better over time. Bro, this ain't matching. It's definitely this side. You know? But brothers got any precepts on or anything on working out, man? You know, y'all could put it in the chat. I am not trusting this. It's not tight. So you work a job being an Israelite. Somebody told me to leave my job. Wow. I wonder who told you that. Y'all hear that? So you work a job being we work jobs. All right? That's crazy. Whoever told you to leave your job. That's wickedness. Wow, bro, you gotta have discernment, man. Yeah, you work a job. You supposed to work. We are in captivity. Is they gonna pay your bills? Okay? And even on top of that, you wouldn't want another man paying your bills, man. They said corporations come from the devil. Yeah, that motherfucker bugged out. Let's get a precept on that. Romans 13th chapter. This is why I come to these lives, man. Well, this ain't really a serious live, but we gonna help you out. Romans 13:1. Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers, for there is no power out of power. The powers that be are ordained of power. So everything that's set up, everything that's appointed, which also means kingdoms, nations, rulers, kings, corporations, Edomites, Rothschilds, Rockefellers, whatever it be, banking families, all these people that are set up, Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi is ordained. Okay? If that individual knows they're Israelite, then they should know why we in this position in the first place. Ask them. Matter of fact, I would tell you not even to talk. Just leave that shit. All right? Because they obviously don't. They're over righteous. Okay? How they going to pay their bills? How are they going to live? Are they homeless? How are they paying their bills? You know? We are in slavery, man. We are in captivity. Verse 2. Whosoever therefore resisteth the power, these powers that are set up over you, right? This is for a punishment unto you. That's what it is. It's to teach you a lesson because you went against the Most High. Okay? Whosoever therefore resisteth the power, resisteth the ordinance of power. The Most High put us in timeout, and you sitting in the corner talking about you ain't going to take the punishment. That's what that individual was saying. And they that resist shall receive for themselves damnation. This is the white man's rulership. This is his kingdom right now. We are in his kingdom, however wicked it may be, but this is his kingdom. So we just have to endure until the end, right? You said, you one of the only Israelites I respect. I run into brothers with hateful hearts. I just started this. Hey, it's good that you started. You know, that's going back to this working out. You're never going to get nowhere if you don't start the race. Okay? You don't just be on the sidelines looking. You're looking at everybody run. And you're like, I wish I could run. I wish I could get out there. Well, you got to start first. So it's good that you started, brother. But when you get into running, you need somebody to tell you about how to your breathing control. You know, breathe through the nose. Don't breathe through the mouth. You want to breathe through the nose. And you want to take deep breaths. You don't want to take little quick breaths, because that's messing up. That you're giving out too much oxygen. You want to and keep running. You want to breathe through the nose. Where does that come from? That comes from Gadites. All right? Look up Geronimo. Look up them. It's a technique that they did where they were able to run 70 miles a day. All right? Breathing through the nose. So that goes back to Gad. Gad knew how to, run and do all of that. They developed techniques. And we did as well. That was Israel back in the day. You go through 1 Samuel, 2 Samuel, you had individuals, they was like, hey, King David, let me run. Let me be a runner. You would have individuals that would run from one city to another city. How was Jake doing that? We are far superior, man. You know? TikTok be filtering comments out, bro. Okay? Yeah, the so-called Native Americans. But like I said, it's a laid-back live, man. If brothers want to come up, y'all can come up. All right? But you said I asked the Israelite a question. He gave me a verse and told me click baiting was in the Bible. What? Yeah, bro, I would just tell you, man. He told you to leave your job. That's not actually in the scriptures, man. Okay? If your job is hindering this truth, then yeah, try to find another job. But in the meantime, you got to work at that job. Okay? And you pray to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, and he'll give you another job. Okay? We are subject to the people that are over us. All right? As long as they're not telling us to break our laws. And even when it comes down to we got to go to work on the Sabbath. It's the Sabbath tonight. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Sunday, Monday, Monday, Tuesday. Okay? We have a back-to-back Sabbath. The new moon is coming in July 13th, actually July 14th, but it's that morning. So it's July 13th to July 14th, Monday to Tuesday. So let's say you have to work. It is what it is. We are in captivity. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is at the end of the day. So for someone to tell you, leave your job, corporations are of the devil. Yeah, corporations are of the devil. But guess what also is of the devil? What Nike, all these different shoes that have different logos of things, of false gods, cars, Mercedes-Benz, Cadillac, all this stuff have logos that worship false gods. Tell that same individual, don't drive your car. Don't wear no clothes. You see how overrighteous they're being? Are you stupid? I'm talking about him, that individual. Is they stupid? How you supposed to live here, man? You understand? Yeah, Starbucks. I don't fuck with no Starbucks, but that's the symbol of Astaroth. You know what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying? You said, bro, he's building a clan kind of like Dr. York. That's a false prophet. He's telling people coming to him and he get hella followers. That's a false prophet. The Most High is building him up to sift wicked Israelites, to take them to him, because they don't want to cleave unto this. They want to cover with a different spirit, a spirit that's not of Yahawah. All right? But bro, it's literally saying, okay, this is it. I gotta put it in this way. Am I doing it the right way? Hold up, man. It say I don't need no washer. Oh, the washer go on the other side. All right. But I would tell you, bro, run away from that individual. That's not proper. That's not of the scriptures. Man, maybe I ain't doing it right. You know what? Forget it. I ain't doing it right. Alright. I'm trying to make a pull-up bar, but I'm gonna figure it out. But I gotta really focus. So I'm just about to teach, man. Alright. Okay, let's keep it going. That's good, Kawan. You say I just follow the GMS gospel. They got the correct understanding, and that's the facts. Okay? Coming straight from the scriptures. Okay? Shalawam, bro. I'm making a pull-up bar. I'm gonna get it done though. Alright, this individual said, religion and belief in any gods is a lack of knowing who you are. Yeah. Alright, so what do you believe then? Did you create yourself? Share with us your views. I got some time, man. Share with us your views, Crescent Wolf. Okay? Share with us your views. What do you believe in? How did you get here? To this position right here. How did you get here? I want to know. Yo, let us know. Let us know. Okay? Nair, you said it's my own family. He telling me Haile Selassie is God. I told you this before. Do you believe that? It's like Jake, y'all gotta develop a bullshit detector. Okay? That's what you gotta develop. A bullshit detector. Oh, I'm doing this right. I just don't know what's going on. You gotta develop a bullshit detector. And when somebody is talking bullshit, like I got a couple family members, they talk bullshit. They don't know what they talking about, so I just don't talk to them. If I do, it's like hi and bye. I call them, how you doing? Yeah, y'all good? All right. Okay, boom, boom, boom. You know, they want to talk scripture. No, I don't want to talk scripture. We don't talk scripture. Because we already went down that route. And Amos 3:3, can two walk together unless they be agreed upon? We didn't agree. So, obviously, the Most High has given you a different spirit that's not like my spirit. Because you don't believe what the Bible says. When it comes to scriptures, you say, I think and I feel. That's not the correct way, man. Okay? Bro. Is it? Oh. I gotta get a 65. That's what I'm doing. Man, I'm over here talking to y'all. I knew I was doing something wrong. So, all that is for you, Nair, that's a challenge, bro. Okay? I don't know this individual, Zaban Yahawah, but I'll bring you up real quick. But I don't know you, though. Come up here respectful. I thought he sent the request. Did you want to come up, man? Or not? Okay. But Haile Selassie, what's your name? Nayer? Haile Selassie's not even an Israelite. Okay? He's not even an Israelite. He's a Hamite. His lineage going back to King Solomon is not going back to King Solomon. It's through his mother. Let's go to Numbers 1. I'm not telling you, you shouldn't go back and cut whoever you was talking to. It's really F them because they don't have the spirit. The Most High has set them up on a path of destruction. Okay? So, but he has set you up on a path to actually learn and get some understanding. So this is Numbers 1:18. And they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month, and they declared their pedigrees after their families by the house of their fathers according to the number of the names from 20 years old and upward by their polls. Now, once you just do a little research and you go into Haile Selassie, you'll see that his claim for all of that is through his mother. It's not actually through his father. He's a Hamite. Okay? He's not an Israelite. And then, furthermore, that just gives Jake that follow that bullshit, it gives them justification to smoke weed and grow their hair long and all of that. Haile Selassie didn't even have dreads. What is this? So once you do further research into that, you understand that it's stemming from Elamites, which are Indians, when all they do is worship Shiva, all right? And that's where you get those Shiva Jatas, those dreadlocks, matted hair. Because the East Indians, they came to Jamaica, all right? And they owned plantations and stuff down there. And they brought with them that false religion. And guess who took on and cleaved onto that religion? Benjamites, Jamaicans, Trinidadians, okay? Our people. Haile Selassie, they want to do that. They worshiped him because they thought that Ethiopia was the Holy Land. You know? So it just take a little bit of research to go through that, man. No. You said, I wish you would get on his live one day because my own family, fuck that. What the fuck I got to get on his live for? What the fuck? That's like me going to McDonald's and telling them, hey, y'all cooking human meat. Y'all need to stop. Are they going to stop because I tell them? No. Hey, motherfucker, we making $1 billion a day, nigga. You about to stop my shit? No. They not going to stop because I tell them, bro. Okay? That's what I'm trying to tell you. So just, like I told you, man, just fuck them, bro. Jake got to get to the point where you just like, fuck them. Alright? Fuck them. And you got to start being grateful that Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi is dealing with you. He dealing with you. He ain't dealing with them, man. Yeah, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. You know? And he's not gonna... Can a brother get that, one of a city, two of a family? I think it's in Jeremiah. He's not gonna save your whole family. You say, I guess my heart big. No, your heart is that of an American still. Your heart is that of a Western individual right now because you're new to this truth. So you come in with a lot of empathy and sympathy for these people because you still have agape love for them. And we understand it. We understand it. But yeah, that's good. Can't save everybody. You got to start, and you'll learn that you'll gird up your loins as a man. And you'll learn how to truly be a man over time as you grow in this truth. And you'll stop having so much sympathy and empathy for these people. Trust me, when we first came into this, we wanted to save our family members. We wanted to save Big Mama and, you know, your uncle, your favorite uncle that smoked the Black and Miles and shit. You wanted to save them. But they don't want to listen. So it just gets to a point of, hey, the water Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, that you at least dealing with me, and then maybe I could make it, and I could bring my people back. That's how you need to start looking at things. Booyah. That's what I need. Right there. Okay. It got to be tighter, though. But it's what I got so far. But I need to tighten this. Next question. How did you figure out the chart behind you? So that chart was put together by our elders. That chart, it was put together by, it ain't good yet because I got to tighten it. Look at it. It's wiggly. I got to tighten it. You know. But the chart was put together by our elders. Elder Ariyah. Okay. You know what I'm saying? And really how you get the chart, which is you can get it online. You can, the one behind me, my wife actually made that. Like she printed out all that because I showed her the colors, you know, for the tribes and everything and all of that. So she made that one. But you can get, you know, brothers have many different type of charts, all right, saying the same thing. But basically it's going back to Genesis, the 49th chapter, and also Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, knowing that the curses that all the tribes would go through. Okay? So it's just our history. You know your history. And furthermore, Ezekiel, what's that, 36 or 37? 37. Ezekiel 37, and I'll read it, 15. The word of Yahawah came again unto me, saying, Moreover, thou son of man, take thee one stick and write upon it. That stick, wood. All right, take thee one stick. All right, and write upon it. For Joseph, the stick of Ephraim, and for all the house of Israel, his companions. So that's the northern kingdom. Okay? And join them one to another into one stick, and they shall become one in thine hand. And when the children of thy people shall speak unto thee, saying, Will thou not show us what thou meanest by these? Say unto them, Thus saith Yahawah power, Behold, I will take the stick of Joseph, which is in the hand of Ephraim, and the tribes of Israel, his fellows, and will put them with him, even with the stick of Judah. So that's northern kingdom, aligned with the southern kingdom. And make them one stick, and they shall be one in mine hand. And the stick whereon thou writest shall be in thine hand before thy eyes. And say unto them, Thus saith Yahawah power, Behold, I will take the children of Israel from among the heathen, whither they be gone, and will gather them on every side, and bring them into their own land. Okay, so that's prophecy. We're going to be brought back to our own land. We are not in our land right now. And that furthermore lets you know that these small hatters that's in our land are not the people. All right. So as you grow and as you watch videos and things of that nature, you'll begin. You should go through where you study the tribe. You study each tribe. You learn, you know, who the tribes are. You know, maybe that's a lesson for another time. You said your father is African American and Native American registers to the Choctaw tribe. Well, what is his father? Because you can't be, as we read in Numbers 1 and 18 earlier, you can't be of two tribes. So African American would be so-called Negroes, which would be Judah. And then Native Americans, if he's of Choctaw, that would be Gad. Right? But if he's Seminole, that would be Reuben. So what is his father? Let me see what you said. Here, deceased now. He's deceased now. I can ask him a lot of stuff. Oh, Khan. Wait, man, you an Israelite, bro. Your grandfather was from Tulsa, Oklahoma. See, that's a melting pot though, cause you had a lot of Judah in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and you had a lot of Gad. You know what I'm saying? But you an Israelite though. All right, that's all that matters. Everything else will be worked out. You know, and that's part of the curses. All right, not having our lineage, not knowing, not being able to trace ourselves going back to our forefathers like that. Where Esau has records and they can go back and they can trace all of that. They even got records of slaves that were sold to who? Based upon our last names. So they know where we come from. They know. They got all these different type of records. They know exactly who we are, man. You know? Okay? I done got off topic though. Alright? Working out. You know? What's step 3? It said I gotta put, and I gotta tighten everything, so I ain't even gonna move on to step 3. But I'm about done. But working out, man. You wanna have a regimen. You wanna work out. Alright? At least twice a week. If that, you gotta take care of your body, man. You know? And then when you work out, bro, you start to feel better about yourself. Okay? You start, you get to looking at yourself. Oh shit, I'm getting big. You know what I'm saying? You know? So you want to be in shape. It builds your self-esteem. It builds your mood. It builds your confidence. All right? But we not in that mindset. Going back to First Maccabees, the first chapter, we not in that mindset of taking on the ordinances of the heathen, how they was in those gyms, where they was just overdoing it. You see those jakes today, those bodybuilders, those weightlifters, they're obsessed, right? No, we have a balance. You know what I'm saying? And like I'm saying, calisthenics. Matter of fact, I said we was going to get that in El Malim. Let's get that. Calisthenics. Man, come on, man. Etomolene. It's a good website to study words. Online etymology dictionary. For anybody that don't know, I'm sorry, it's backwards. Online etymology dictionary. All right, calisthenics. Calisthenics, kind of light gymnastics of exercises was in use by 1837, formed on model of French calisthenie, from Latin zine, combining form of Greek kalis, kalos, beauty, strength, power, ability, might, to have hold on the notion of steadfastness, toughness. Right? It's to develop the figure and promote graceful movement. Let me see any more on that. Nah, that's pretty much it on that. So, it's light, but what are you really trying to lift? Your body weight, man. That's why pull-ups. That's simple. Like I said, I said this at camp. Who is really about to lift 400 pounds in an average day? Nobody. Who in here is about to lift 400, 500 pounds? What you got to do with that? Why are you trying to squat 400 pounds? That's why years and years of doing those type of things, it destroys your muscles, man. That's not average. That's not regular. We don't do that. We never did that in Israel. Where do we get our strength from? Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, man. Okay? Yeah, the definition of lift yourself up. You should be able to do at least 10 pull-ups and you straight, bro. You should be able to do 50 push-ups, you straight. 100 sit-ups, you straight. You in a good physical form. Okay? Be able to walk miles, and you straight. We not trying to overdo it. We gonna trust in Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi to be with us, man. You know what I'm saying? We're not trying to be bodybuilders. All right? So these are things you could do without a gym membership. You know what I'm saying? Simple push-ups, sit-ups, simple things, squats, planks, side planks, stretching, esoteric workouts. You can use it's many forms that you could do just using your body, right? So try to build a routine of working out, man. You know what I'm saying? But that's all I got, yo. If y'all got any more questions, throw them. His brother said, I play basketball open runs. Yeah, that's great. That's great. Do that. That's great. Play basketball. Continue to do that. Do you believe that Black Americans were here first because my father is native but looks like African? Nah, so let's go there. Now, what you would have had over here is Levites, Haitians, because they would have came with the Northern Kingdom to help the Northern Kingdom keep their laws. So this is 2nd Esdras, the 13th chapter, and the 40th verse. Actually, I'll start at 39. And whereas thou sawest that he gathered another peaceable multitude unto him, those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Oshea the king, whom Salmanassar the king of Assyria led away captive, and he carried them over the waters, and so came they into another land. Now you can look this up in the history books. This happened around 722 BC. 722 BC, where King Salmanassar ruled Assyria and took the northern kingdom into bondage. Okay? Say you want to join a congregation. I'm looking for one. Just follow Great Millstone. Where Kakama at, man? Where is Kakama at? When we need somebody to tell somebody to go to GMS Elders the Milk. Hey, bro. You sleep, bro. Wake up. Just go the water. The water. Go to this on YouTube. GMS Elders the Milk. GMS Elders the Milk. That's the congregation. That's what you need to be following. That's the elders that you need to follow. That's who's going to teach you correctly and properly. All right? That's our elders. Start there. I'll pull it up. It's going to be backwards, though, but I'll pull it up. All right. GMS Elders the Milk. On YouTube. Study there. Read there. It's over 131 videos. All right, just subscribe. Great. Make sure you turn the notifications on. That's the elders. That's basic breakdowns that you need to get while you come into this thing. And then just come to the lives. I suggest every new brother stay off these bullshit TikTok lives, man. Okay? When you see us on, me, Elder Ariyah, or Alliance of the 12, Yasharahla, you'll know who lives to be in by seeing us on live. Okay? This other stuff on here is folly. All right, 99.9% of it is folly. I promise you that. And this is a problem that new brothers have, because you're curious. You're like a baby. You want to crawl and get into everything. We understand. You want to crawl. You want to learn. What does this do? What does this do? What does this do? Right? But you got to fight those urges, man. You know what I'm saying? And you just got to, let's get this real quick. 1 Peter 2:1. Wherefore, laying aside all malice and all guile and hypocrisies and envies and all evil speakings, as newborn babes, desire the sincere milk of the word, that you may grow thereby. So the sincere milk, the sincerity, not nobody charging you for lessons, not nobody that wants to donate to their congregation. Like you said earlier, y'all got jobs? Yeah, we got jobs. Nobody should be donating money, all right, to us. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you want to donate to the elders, okay? Because the elders are retired. You know what I'm saying? Things of that nature, okay? Et cetera, et cetera. But we're not going to have, nobody has Cash Apps or Zelles or Venmos or none of that in their bios, man. Okay? Verse 3, if so be you have tasted that the Lord is gracious. So if you've been given an opportunity to learn this truth, like you are right now, then be gracious that Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi is dealing with you. Be grateful. Right? Because like you said, I think your brother or somebody, they're not getting this milk. They're on that Haile Selassie juice. You understand? So that they're on bullshit. The Most High chose you. So be happy with that. And hopefully it continues. So going back to 2nd Esdras 13 and 40, well, we go to 41. But you can look up that history on Salmanassar. That will be 722 BC. You can look that up. That's when this happened. 41. But they took this counsel among themselves, that they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt. So that further country is what you know as Arsareth, which is just simply America, a foreign land, all right, a faraway land. That's what this place is. It was a faraway land. It took about 1.5 years to get to by ship, America. Okay? Verse 42, that they might dare keep their statutes which they never kept in their own land. Now, who do you need to keep laws, commandments, and statutes? Who is the priests? The Levites. So therefore, they needed the Levites to come with them to help them keep their laws, commandments, and statutes. So you would have had some Haitians that would have been traveling with them. All right. Now, this right here, this is why you got to cut away from that American mindset, which America teaches you in the school, that the first time somebody came to America was Cristobal Colon, which is, is Christopher Columbus. But that's a lie. We had long time been traveling back and forth to America through King Solomon and him employing the Hamites, all right, what you know is the Phoenicians, the Canaanites, all right, the Sea Peoples. They've been called many different names. He employed them to travel to America. And then Israelites was traveling with him. Okay, so they knew the journey. They knew how to get there. They knew how to travel there. They knew how to make it there. And they knew how to come back. And it took them 1.5 years to get there, 1.5 years to get back. And that's in 1 Kings, the 10th chapter. Okay, so our history is in the books. We've been traveling to America, getting gold and peacocks and apes and things of that nature. Yeah, Mansa Musa, that was an Israelite as well. But the Most High was not really profitable with him because he was in what? He was in a false doctrine. That was later on. So Mansa Musa tried to travel to America, and a lot of his ships got destroyed. They got destroyed in the sea. That's why we're reading this, to furthermore let you know that the Most High allowed us to pass through. He didn't allow Mansa Musa to pass through. right? And Mansa Musa was not the richest man on this earth. King Solomon was. Okay? And furthermore, the most wise man on this earth. All right? Keeping it going. Verse 43. And they entered into the Euphrates by the narrow places of the river, for the Most High then showed signs for them. He had them what? He gathered them with a chariot. He guided them. And held still the flood till they were passed over. He held still the flood. He allowed them to travel through these narrow places to get through. And then furthermore, to make it, to go around Africa, and then to go through the Atlantic Ocean. For through that country there was a great way to go, namely of a year and a half, and the same region is called Arsareth. So the northern kingdom would have arrived in America around probably 721, 720 BC. And they would have been in America ever since then. And it's funny because when you look up, when the Inca civilization started, when the Mayan civilization started, the Aztec civilization started, they say there's civilizations that predated them, it would have started around 700 so BC. You understand? So scientists actually support the scriptures. And I stumbled upon that when I was looking into Inca history. Because I was like, yo, you know, where they come from? When I was first studying this thing, man. And it all matched up to the scriptures. Lose that word African. Ain't nobody Africans. You said, so would you say Mexicans are Africans as well? No, they're Israelites. This is what I'm saying. You got to reform your mind. We are Israelites. We're not coming from Africa. Nobody came from Africa. At that point, we're traveling from Israel. And then furthermore, coming from Assyria, we came from Assyria. Our homeland is Israel. That's not in Africa. We're not Africans. African is coming from Scipio Africanus, a white man. We're not named after a white man. We're named after Yahawah. Bahasham Yahawashi. Yasharahla. He, princes of the power. We are the sons of God. We are the sons of Yahawah. We're not Africans. Okay? So Mexicans will be so-called Aztecs. They will be Issacharite. Right? And at the end of the day, they're Israelites. They're Israelites. That's their nation. Africans are not Africans. Africans are Hamites. You have Cush, Phut, Canaan, and Mizraim, or Egyptians. That's the four Hamitic nations. They came from Ham. No, none of them, they would all, if they knew their history, they would be insulted by you calling them Africans, because they're not Africans. They're Hamites. They come from Ham. We come from Shem. And then furthermore, going out to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Jacob having 12 sons, being the Israelites, so therefore our nation will be Israel. We will be Israelites, or Yasharahla. Right? So to furthermore answer your question, Mexicans would be Israelites. Right? Puerto Ricans would be Israelites. Cubans would be Israelites. All right, Colombians would be Israelites. You know, Paraguayans would be Israelites. Guatemalans would be Israelites. Okay, so keep it going. 2nd Esdras 13 and 46. Then dwelt they there until the latter time, and now when they shall begin to come, the highest shall stay the springs of the stream again, that they may go through. Therefore sawest thou the multitude with peace. But those that be left behind of thy people are they that are found within my borders. Who was left behind? The southern kingdom. All right, the southern kingdom was still in the borders. Judah, Levi, and Benjamin, all right, would have still been in Israel. And then they would have eventually been conquered by the Babylonians around 500, like 60 something BC. Okay. So like 100 and so years later. All right. Yeah, that's the Spanish. Because America, the brother said, yeah, I did my research on how they tried to make the Aztecs and Mayans Christians or unalive. Exactly. So you would have had the Spanish, the French, the British, the Portuguese, and the Dutch. That would have been and they're all Edomites. All right. That would have been who conquered North America, South America. So the Spanish really did a lot. They conquered all of South America except for Brazil. That's why Brazil speaks Portuguese, but everywhere else speaks Spanish, right? So the Portuguese conquered Brazil. So yeah, they would have, and they all came under the banner of Christianity, right? Catholicism, all that bullshit. So, they mingled, they integrated, and all of that. So you have Edomites down there, but they didn't populate the whole country. You have a lot of Israelites out there still. The Edomite seed is not a fertile seed. The Most High doesn't allow him to produce like that, right? Where we produce regardless in slavery or whatever, we gonna produce. You understand? Under pressure, we just pump out babies. Especially damn Issachar, bro. Hey, shots fired. Issachar don't know how to stop. Damn. All right. Well, how are all the South Americans mixed breeds? They're not mixed. You gotta write these scriptures down. What did we go over earlier? Numbers 1 and 18. I read that because this would tie into everything that we was gonna talk about. Numbers 1 and 18. What are you? I'm gonna ask you a question. What are you? What are you? What did I ask you earlier? You said your father is African American and Native American. I said, so what's his father? Right? You said he's from Tulsa, Oklahoma. All right. So am I saying Israelites come in all different colors? Yes. That's what I'm saying. That's amazing, no lie. Nah, that's not amazing, no lie. That's the scriptures. Let's go to Jeremiah 12. But how is it amazing? It's like this. It's like this. It's like this. And I ain't hitting you though, but y'all, it's like people be thinking that the Most High is boring. Y'all think the Most High ain't got no creativity. But look at us. We the most creative people on this planet, bro. So how about our Father? How about Yahawashi? You think he's not creative? He just gonna give you some bland, dark-skinned ass all day? Oh, man. It's Jeremiah 12 and 9. Mine heritage is unto me as a speckled bird. The birds round about are against her. Come ye, assemble all the beasts of the field, come to devour. A speckled bird, all right, in the midst of these heathens. So you have Israelites in all these different countries looking like these different countries, looking like these heathens. But their father may be Issachar. Their father may be Naphtali. Their father may be Zebulun. Their father may be Judah. Their father may be Benjamin. Right? So it's about the father. And then if you plant your seed, you're an Israelite, you plant your seed in a Japanese woman doing the war, doing WW2, because that's what happened. A lot of that happened. You plant your seed in a Japanese woman, you leave during the war, you go back to America, and you don't know you got a kid in Japan. Now that kid comes out, it's a boy. That boy is an Israelite because you was an Israelite, all right? And then he plants his seed in a Japanese woman. He may look a little Japanese, all right? But that seed is still an Israelite seed. He don't know he's an Israelite. He just know he a little dark-skinned because his pops was dark-skinned. But he may go into a Japanese woman that's extremely light-skinned or white, and the seed comes out extremely light, looking Japanese, because he has features from his mother as well. So therefore, you get a speckled bird. But that's still an Israelite. So you don't judge a book off is cover, man. Yeah, the father can place his seed in any land. That will be the same tree. That will be of that same tree. Exactly. So the Most High is very creative. You're going to have Israelites looking all different type of colors, heights, flavors, talents, speaking all different type of languages. Let's go to Revelation 7 and 9. And it reads, After this I beheld, and lo, a great multitude, which no man could number, of all nations, and kindreds, and people, and tongues, stood before the throne and before the Lamb, clothed with white robes and palms in their hands. So, these are all Israelites. Keep in mind, they're all going to be speaking different languages. All right. And kindreds and people and tongues stood before the throne. They're all going to look different. All going to look different. But they're all Israelites according to the blood. According to their blood. Right? Hey, perfect. As Kakama put, if you know who Tracy Ellis Ross is, she's an Edomite. She's not an Israelite. Her father is a so-called YT man. But she has a melanated complexion, but she's not an Israelite. You understand? But I give you a better example. Justin Timberlake. That's an Israelite. He may look like a so-called YT man, which he really don't to me. He don't. All right, so I'm going to give you a better example. Steve Nash. That's an Israelite. He's tribe of Gad. All right. Steve Nash is Gad? You said Steve Nash is Israelite? Yeah, he is. Okay? Steve Nash is an Israelite. Believe it or not. And he will bust your ass on that basketball court. And you going to know he an Israelite. You understand that? Okay? So, he's an Israelite. May look like a YT man, but he's definitely an Israelite. So, we come in many different forms, many different flavors. Jason Kidd, perfect. Jason Williams. All right. What's that boy on the Lakers? Luka Doncic. You know, you could go on all day with this, man. You know what I'm saying? So, any more questions, bro, before I get up out of here and fix this pull-up bar? You said, okay, now I'm seeing how we got confused based on most fathers being absent. Let's get a precept on that. This is Deuteronomy 28 and 54. Because that's a curse. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil towards his brother and towards the wife of his bosom and towards the remnant of his children, which he shall leave. So it's a curse for men to leave their families. All right. At the end of the day, that's what it is. And it's a curse for black on black violence. His eye shall be evil towards his brother. All right. So Jake be out here hating one another. The weak, the tender and delicate of our nation, the weak men of our nation that can't overcome that animosity and that tension. Verse 55. So that he will not give to any of them of the flesh of his children, whom he shall eat, because he hath nothing left him in the siege and in the straitness wherewith thine enemy shall distress thee in all thy gates. Now this happened during the siege of Masala and the sieges when Rome came up against us. Okay, this also happened. Oh, it's going to happen again, in this time period. Okay, so these are curses, man. Okay, when the Bible says honor thy mother and father, what does that mean? That's what it means. What you want? You want some deep breakdown? That's what it means. Honor thy mother and father. That's what it means. Okay. I mean, hey, your mama could be bugged out. She could be out her mind. She calling on Jesus. All of that. So that's your mama. Okay. You can't cuss your mama out, bro. What if your mama try to unalive you? Step away, back away, get away from her. Distance yourself from her. Okay? That's your mama. Bro, I ain't gonna, shoot, my mama done, shit. My mama done got mad at me and tried to fight me and shit before, bro. That's my mama. I would never hit my mama. Niggas, you crazy? That's my mama. You gotta be the bigger person. Okay? And then you just gotta leave. You just gotta, they're not gonna get it. You know what I'm saying? And through the Spirit, Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi will work it out. All right? He'll always have it where she'll come and apologize. Or, you know, we'll fix it. You got to honor thy mother and father. If you can't get along with your earthly father, distance yourself. Okay? But don't be disrespectful to your earthly father. Ever. All right? If you disrespectful to your earthly father, how you going to be the Yahawah? You understand? How you going to be the Yahawashi? It's a test put in front of you. That's all it is. It's a test. Look how King David handled King Saul. Because King Saul was like a father to him. He loved him. King David loved him. You know? And King Saul was trying to kill King David. But did he put his hands on him? No. King David didn't put his hands on King Saul. You understand? So it was a test. And King David passed that test. Nothing's new under the sun. We all get similar tests. So you got to pass these tests, man. You got to learn how to discern it and knowing when to step away. Knowing when to distance yourself. Because over time, these people are going to feel like, they're going to feel bad. They're going to be like, damn, you know. And they're going to know that you're a far superior individual to them because you controlled yourself and you handled yourself with class. That's why it's always better to take the high road. That's why going back to whoever you talking about, whoever live it is, it's no need for us to go in there. But we take the high road. You know? It's no need for us to go back and forth and talk and debate. And bro, I got the truth, man. You know? I got the truth. That's like, I got a Phantom and this individual got a 300 Chrysler. I'm not trying to go sit in your shit. I got a Phantom, nigga. I'm not trying to go sit with you. Okay? I got the truth. You got a fake. You got something that looks like this, but it's not this. You understand? It looks like this, but it's not this. So I'm not worried about what you got. Okay? This is brother got Barak 3 and 7. He that feareth Yahawah will honor his father and will do service unto his parents as to his masters. Honor thy father and mother both in word and deed, that a blessing may come upon thee from them. For the blessing of the father establishes the houses of children, but the curse of the mother rooteth out foundations. Glory not in the dishonor of thy father, for thy father's dishonor is no glory unto thee. Okay? For the glory of a man is from the honor of his father, and a mother in dishonor is a reproach to the children. My son, help thy father in his age, and grieve him not as long as he liveth. Your father getting old, he kind of acting senile, he talking shit to you and all of that. You still can't dishonor him. You still can't disrespect him. Okay? You know? What is this dude talking about? Yeah, but you ain't okay. Look, bro. You said I'm gonna read these comments just so y'all can get an understanding. He said Jesus saved us. This is the first thing this dude said when he came here. Love is the answer. Wasn't easy for my family though, because we were born into an evil bloodline of dark witches. He said IFYK. I guess that means if you know, you know. He is God for real. So you said your family was born into, a dark bloodline of dark. Well, you come in here with the same warlock type energy, bro. You calling on Jesus. That's a spell. That's warlock. That's witchcraft. That's a false god. So your family, you one of the same. You just like them niggas. You the same as them. You ain't changed. Okay? You was born into that. You still in that. You calling on Jesus, dude. Okay? You still doing evil shit. You still calling on Jesus. He said, I was then saved at 26. You're not saved. This is, everybody peep this. Y'all see his energy? Y'all see that he can't even shut up? You know what I'm saying? These are narcissistic people. They can't even shut up and listen. Y'all understand? Everybody in here can see this, bro. You can't even shut up and listen. Nobody wanted to hear your story. Nobody cares. This dude said, you're mad at me for sharing my story. Okay, look, you're very narcissistic and selfish. We in here teaching a lesson, and you came in here and just started talking. You understand? Make it make sense. No, you make it make sense. What if you was at home, bro? You was at home watching your TV, and I just walked in your house and started, yeah, man, my family got a dark bloodline. They all witches and warlocks. I just walked in your house and started talking. You understand? That's weird. You got to go. You know? Extremely weird. But that's the people that we deal with. Extremely selfish. And they don't care. It's no consideration. But that's furthermore showing you that the love of many shall wax cold. Because people don't actually care to listen to other people. They just care to talk. Okay? Talking about his family is warlocks and witches. You a warlock and a witch, man. Make it make sense. But hey, back to the brother, man. Nair. You know, I pray this has been edifying for you, bro. I hope you got some answers. I hope this, you know. But no, I'm about to get up out of here soon. Let me see. I got them tightened a little bit, but they not as tight as they need to be. But for real, though. Work out, man. You know? Work out. And stay serious. And eat good. Eat the best that you can with this defiled ass food that we have. Alright? Fast. Don't eat too much. Knowing that the food is defiled, is poison, you don't want to eat too much of it. So you want to eat less. Alright, now that's better. That's better. And we can work out with this. We getting there. I just got to put the back piece on, and I'm done, man. You know? He said, I'm not your bro. He said, I'm not your bro. I just met you today. Hey, Kawam, you learn quick, bro. Prove thy friend. He said, I'm not your bro. Bro, y'all make me laugh, man. That brother said, I'm not your bro. Oh, man. That's how you supposed to be, though. I mean, for real, though. You got to prove thy friend, man. You know? But yeah, KJV is the correct Bible. All right? I feel it. I've been backstabbed many times, too. Shoot, them damn curses, man. So, and that's how we are. We're austere people. We're distant. We're, what's the word? Introvert. You know? We're separated. And you're not going to have many friends in this thing, bro. As the brother said, no friends left. You're not going to have many friends. This, because we're separated. The elect is going to be like that. Yahawah, we be of that number, man. So we're not going to have many friends, bro. We're not here for friends and popularity and all of that. Let the people in the world do that. Okay? And that's going back to you, Nair, is where you gotta gird up your loins like a man. And it comes over time as you growing in this truth. You got to learn that the American way was never the right way. All right? Everything you learned in the church and all of that was never the correct way. You know? So stay in your word, read, grow, and have me time. Study. Have a long time. You know, even brothers with families, man, you got to have a long time. Right? Don't be all up under your woman all the damn time and shit like that, man. You know, that's not healthy for you. It's healthy to be with a woman, but not all the time. Right? So, hey, man, I'm about to get up out of here if y'all ain't got no more questions, man. Because I want to use this thing out. All right, summarizing this one again. Calisthenics. I'm going to entitle this lesson various topics, I guess, because we hit a lot of topics. But calisthenics, working on your own body weight. Making sure you can lift your own body weight. All right. You know, these are workouts you can do without the gym. Okay. These are ancient workouts that people used to do, that our nation used to do. We didn't have no gym. Jason brought that damn gym to our nation, and then our people began to work out naked, work out in the nude, and worship these false gods, taking on the customs of the heathens, as we read in 1 Maccabees, the 1st chapter. Okay? Along with many other things they brought, wearing hats, wearing the cap, snapbacks. They didn't have snapbacks, but wearing hats. We didn't wear hats. You know, and there's nothing with wearing hats. It's nothing wrong with wearing hats when you're not teaching. You know, you wear your snapbacks, your hats, all that. But when you're teaching, you're supposed to have your head uncovered. All right. So, hey, with that being said, man, I don't see no more questions, man. I'm going to get up on out of here. All right. The water for hanging out while I put this pull-up bar together. And, you know, do your thing. Eat good. Have a good Sabbath. We got back-to-back Sabbath, Shabbat, right? So, you know, don't get caught up. All right. So, hey, with that being said, Shabbat Shalawam. Facing the east, giving all praise, honor, and glory be to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Kakadash. And double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of the great millstone as always. Shalawam to the Lord's helpful elect, Kwam Yasharahla. And a Bible ball, the water for all the precepts and support, Akyam. You know, this was a edifying live. We had a couple bug outs come through. Pray that brother Near got edified. And be consistent, man, and stay away from the slop and the folly of this world. All right, that goes to all of us. You know, be diligent. All right. Kwam Yasharahla, Bible ball, Shalawam. Keep the faith. Shalawam.